Hi everyone, my name is Carolyn. So today we are talking about finding time for stillness. So this is going to be talking from my own personal experience with prioritizing stillness in my life and making it a priority. So back in September, God wanted me to make stillness a priority in my life by making one day a week as my day off. Me be really strict with it as well. There's no ministry work. It is just like literally the definition of a PJ day. It's doing nothing except whatever I want to do. If I want to watch Netflix all day, I can. And, you know, I realize that this is because my life is about to get a lot busier. And He wants me to be able to replenish my supply so I can continue to help others. And something that I actually just realized was that I had kind of sent out prayer requests just asking people to pray that, God would bring a mentor into my life, because I feel like I'm a mentor for so many so many women, and I'm pouring out into their lives constantly, and I was like, I want somebody to be doing that for me as well, other than, of course, doing Bible study and, doing my own studying and everything like that. I wanted somebody to be pouring into my life the way that I'm pouring into others. And so now I realized that, there was a lot of the times where I would feel very overwhelmed. And it was definitely because when I'm helping a lot of people, I tend to get very emotionally involved, emotionally invested in helping them. And so I realized that I would get kind of drained and overwhelmed and tired, and so I realize now that this day off every week is just time to replenish my supplies and just time for myself and time to kind of unwind. And I definitely feel like everybody needs that. So it's important to find time for stillness, a moment of peace and serenity. I'm not just talking about this because of what is going on in the world, but in our normal everyday life, we need to be putting aside these little moments of quiet and stillness, and we can definitely go a little crazy without them. I know that from personal experience. And the first Bible verse I want to share with you guys is John 16:33, which says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." And I love that verse because it's just like, whatever may be going on in the world, God's got it handled. He's got it handled. So especially when trying to balance school, work, your social life, and everything in between, it can become a little bit overwhelming. And I find that having this day off every week helps me to rebalance myself. And that's how I look at it, as it's like balancing everything out, calming things down. And the visual that I got while writing this was an oil change, and you take out the old dirty oil and put in the new oil. Because how can we run properly if we aren't taking care of ourselves? And I feel like that's so true, and I feel like especially a lot of moms out there, they feel really guilty for taking even just a moment of me time, and especially when it comes to your relationship with the Lord, taking like 5 minutes in the morning for Bible study between you and God and just having that quiet moment. But also, it's just continuing to strengthen your relationship with the Lord, and just taking those 5 minutes, because you got to take care of yourself. Like, really, like, how can you take care of everybody else, if you aren't taking care of yourself and putting yourself first occasionally, and taking some time. So it's not necessarily taking like a whole hour to do Bible study for yourself, which, I mean, if you have the time to do that. That's amazing. But if you can only fit in like 5 minutes of Bible study, then do it. Because it is just a moment of stillness and quiet. So I am definitely someone who is constantly helping others in their spiritual walk, like I mentioned earlier, which, don't get me wrong, I love doing this and helping to strengthen their relationship with the Lord. But when it comes to maintaining my relationship with God, that needs to be a priority. So this leads me into the next Bible verse, which is Psalm 46:10, which says, he says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." And I just love that verse because it's "Be still and know that I am God." And so again, it's just reminding us that He's bigger than everything. He's got it all handled. And yeah, I just love that verse. So what I realized is that it's this balancing act, and recently I found that I love doing Bible study first thing in the morning. Most mornings I don't feel like getting out of bed just yet, and being able to grab my Bible and it being the first thing that I do every morning is so nice. It's peaceful and it's my quiet moment before the day gets busy. It's also making God a priority in my life. For me, doing Bible study in the mornings is making Him number one in my life. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I don't have time in the mornings to do Bible study, so I do it in the evenings. That is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with doing Bible study in the evenings or even in the afternoon. Do it whenever you can. I think it's just important that you're doing it regardless of what time of day it is. And for me, I have time in the mornings, and that's when kind of the house is at the quietest for the most part. And so I just take advantage of the quiet and the peaceful moment, and I just do Bible study. And for me, I love watching the sunrise while doing Bible study. I just love seeing the sun come up, and it's just such a beautiful moment. So, yeah, the next Bible verse is Job 22:21, which says, "Submit to God and be at peace with Him. In this way, prosperity will come to you." And I love this verse because, again, it's just submitting to God. It's giving your all to Him and just learning to be at peace with Him and working with Him, not against Him. So I encourage you all to do the same. Follow God's leadership and allow Him to guide you in choosing a day that works for you. For those of you who are curious, Saturday is my day off. It is the only day that works. A lot of people say that Sunday is the day of rest. Sunday is a time to just, relax and everything like that. But I'm like, for me, it never felt like a day off. It never really did, because I'm getting up early in the morning, I'm getting ready for church, and I'm going to church, and it's just a lot of the times we have family functions on Sundays, and so it never really felt like a day off. And so, especially for me, my church starts at 7:30 a.m. In the morning for me, my time. So it's just, it never felt like a day off. A day off is like you get to sleep in, And so for me, Saturday just works better. And it's also the day after I upload, so after all of that craziness of editing and uploading and all of that crazy stuff, it just seemed like the day that was quiet and peaceful, and it was like, it just worked for me. So again, just find a day that works for you. And it definitely was a trial and error in regards to finding a day off that works for me. I had tried so many days in the week, and I finally just was like, you know what, Saturday seems to work the best, and I'm going to test it out, and I have been sticking with that ever since. It just works. Last Bible verse for today is Genesis 2:2-3, which says, "By the seventh day God had finished the work He had been doing. So on the seventh day He rested from all His work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it He rested from all the work of creating that He had done." So even God Himself took a day of rest after all the work He had done. And I just hope that this video encourages you, especially those of you who are feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. Just know that God has you in the palm of His mighty right hand, and He will supply for your every need. I know that things are really tough right now financially for a lot of people, but just know God will supply your every need, because He promises that in His word. So yeah, I just again hope that this video just encourages you, and especially those of you who are feeling a bit overwhelmed, or even some of you who feel guilty for taking some me time. Don't feel guilty for that. Don't feel guilty for saying no to going out with friends or going to a party or whatever it may be, even though we're not doing that right now. Don't feel guilty for saying no and taking a night for yourself, because it is so important to make sure that we're replenishing ourselves and taking care of ourselves so we can continue to help others and put others first. So with that being said, that wraps up today's video. Again, a new video is uploaded every Friday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you'd like a more interactive community feel, you can feel free to join the Facebook group. There's also an Instagram page that you can follow as well. There's also a Facebook page that you can follow as well, but that's more so just letting people know that there's a new video up if you don't feel the need to join the Facebook group. But I absolutely love the group. I love that we get to discuss the videos and pray for each other, and it's just a really great environment to be in, a really positive one. So yeah, with that being said, that wraps up the outro for this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful week, and God bless.